Hey guys, Jay Anthony here. Welcome back to my blog. Sorry for the long delay in making a new post. If you're watching this as I deploy it, you'll know that we've recently had some major holidays. December and beginning of January we had Christmas actually and my birthday and then New Year's. So I hope you all that are celebrating these holidays, and I understand that there are other holidays besides those that happened in the last month, both Jewish and otherwise as well. So I hope that anybody celebrating any sort of a holiday had some sort of rest and relaxation last month. So this is going to be the next installment of my blog post, and I got a GoPro over the holidays, so this is giving this route a try, as I have to be driving in my car. It gives me some free time to talk. So I asked on all my previous blog posts for some suggestions for content, and honestly, it's run a little dry. So if you have any suggestions for me, I'd really appreciate it. I'd love to answer your questions, and so hit me up. The only real question that I have for today I have two questions. So first was, what is my opinion on the Tudor line? And then the latter was, what do I feel about in a battle of Orient versus Tissot? What do I think the better value is for Orient versus Tissot? So honestly, the current Tudor line, there really isn't much I can say about it. I think they're great watches. They use the Rolexes. It's basically what they are, with the ETA movements in them. So you're getting the same level of quality as you would in a Rolex piece in terms of the case quality and the engineering prowess. You're just getting a slightly lower price point, and with that price point you get a lower grade movement. ETA makes great movements. The ETA movements they use in those watches are ones that have been around since the 60s, albeit they've refined them quite a bit since then. And so you're getting a tried and true workhorse of a watch with any of the Tudors you pick up. They're not the kind of watch you'd buy for like horological significant timekeeping. They're just really nice, high quality, basic Swiss watches. So we just got them back in the United States. Those of you overseas have had them, I think, continuously since they first came out. But in the US, we actually lost them for a couple years, and that's actually pretty unfortunate. I think a lot of that is here, as they don't have the prestige, a lot of people never gave them a second look. Tudor in the US is very much an unknown brand. You kind of have to be a watch person to know what Tudor is. Unfortunately, there's watches out there like Tag Heuer and even like Movados that have much more brand recognition in the US than Tudor does. So I think because of that, they've kind of been overlooked, and that's pretty sad. But anybody considering a Tudor, they're great pieces. They have great quality cases. You're getting the same attention to detail you would on a Rolex. Again, you're just getting a little bit of a price break because of the ETA-based movement. And honestly, I think they have kind of a unique little spin to them. So there's definitely the lineage that links them to Rolex, and you can tell they have oyster-style cases like Rolexes. But beyond that, they very much kind of have their own identity, and they have some very kind of special styling these days. So they've been putting some black bezels on them. I think are pretty cool looking. And they have very much their own kind of bespoke design language now, which is nice. They used to be very much kind of a Rolex that's a Tudor on the dial with a different movement in it, but they've definitely, in the last couple of years, done a pretty good job at differentiating that line. And so if you're looking for a high quality Swiss piece and you don't want to quite get up to the $6,000-$7,000 plus range, they're a compelling buy. They have, again, the backing of Rolex, they have good quality ETA movements, and they have pretty cool style. And if you want something, in the US at least, that's a little special that not everybody's going to have, that's going to be a piece that you're probably not going to see somebody else wearing at a party. So that's kind of what I feel about Tudor. I think they're great watches. I actually own a Tudor. Mine's from the 60s. It's a Tudor Sub, Snowflake. I don't wear it because I actually have to get it fixed, but that's a whole other story. So again, Tudor, good watches. Another question that I got asked is, and forget my language, I'm kind of one-offing this, is what do I think about if I did an argument of Tissot versus Orient? So, Orient, if you've watched any of my channel for any given period of time, you know that I'm a huge Orient guy. I think they're incredible bang for buck. And honestly, Tissot kind of fills a similar need on the Swiss end of things. So, Tissot for a long time was kind of like Omega's little baby brother. They were kind of the low-end Omega, and they kind of felt, I guess, a little bit similar to how I just explained Tudor to Rolex. Although Tudors start at a significantly higher price than Tissots. Tissots are approachable. You can pick them up in the couple $100 range. And you can spend over $1,000 on the Tissot, don't get me wrong. But that's kind of where that is, whereas, an Orient, you can pick up an Orient for $50 online. So they start at different price points, but they do kind of compete in the same space. So quality-wise of a Tissot, I'd equate it to maybe a 5-year-old Tag Heuer. Again, you're going to get generic ETA movements in them, and they're probably going to have like plastic retainer rings in them, but you're going to get pretty decent quality. You're going to have, again, ETA movements, so you're going to have a reliable piece. And but again, you're just not going to get the prestige factor you get with like an Orient, not an Orient, excuse me, an Omega. With a Tissot, you're not getting an in-house movement, which is something you get with the Orient. Now, I've been saying Orient is in-house movements for the longest time, and if I'm being honest with you, the Orient movement is a 1970s Seiko movement that Orient has been fixing. Sorry about the wind noise, this car is a little loud. And so it's an Orient movement, and they developed it over the years, but it has its origins in Seiko. So you can make the argument that for Tissot that, you know, the ETA movements, if they modify it anyway, it's kind of an ETA movement as well. The nice thing with the Orient movements, though, is you're not going to find them in any other watch. And I'm referring to Orients with the automatic movement. You can get Orients with quartz movements, and those are actually Seiko movements, so that's kind of a whole other argument. But quality-wise, I'd say they have a little bit of overlap. So like a base Orient, like a single star Orient, you can pick up for about $50. Those have really nasty bracelets on them, and you're getting a nice automatic movement, but the case quality is crap, to be honest with you. But once you move up to like the Mako line and up, you're getting a wonderful quality piece. And I'd say once you get to that level, it's every bit as nice as Tissot, if not nicer. Entry-level Tissots, you're going to get pretty decent case quality. So I'd say case qualities on all Tissots is better than a base Orient. But I think once you get to a mid-level Orient, I think it's every bit as equal to a Tissot. And so if I was comparing like a high-end Orient diver to like a Tissot high-end diver with an ETA-based movement in it, they're actually pretty comparable pieces. You're going to get a little bit more prestige with a Tissot, and it's going to have a common Swiss movement in it. The Orient, if you have Orient service in your country, is going to be cheaper to service. But honestly, they're pretty comparable watches. I personally prefer Orients. The Tissots, to me, again, they're generic ETA movements. I'm stuck up, and I like watches that have quote-unquote in-house movements, which, again, I already just explained to you, they don't really have in-house movements in that regard. So I don't know. And I like the idea that Orient is just kind of a special thing in the U.S., and it's kind of unique here. You know, in your country, you may feel very different about it, but you can't go wrong with either one. If you're going to get into an Orient, I'd say buy one that's over $100, where they actually have a decent bracelet on it, like a Bambino or a Mako or something to that caliber or better. Basically, if you're going to cross-shop the two, any Tissot you find is going to be $200 or more. Make sure the equivalent Orient costs that much, and you're going to get an equivalent watch. Is how I'd recommend it. And another alternative I'd say to Tissot might be Mundane. Mundane makes Swiss rail clocks too. They're very cool, timeless kind of design. So those would be my recommendations. Forgive me, I'm kind of screaming over my loud car. It's really loud in this car. So that's kind of how I'd recommend it. If you could please do me a favor, again, I'm kind of running out of content for these vlogs, so if you could please let me know what you'd like to see content-wise. Please leave me some comments, questions, concerns. What watch questions do you have? What kind of content would you like to see? On that note, there's a small group of you that I know appreciate my motivational videos. I'm going to be making an announcement soon. I'm going to be spinning off a channel for motivation. So those of you that look forward to my motivational videos, I'll be giving you a channel just for that going forward. As I understand, not everybody that watches this channel cares about that content, but for those that you do and support it, thank you. I'll make sure that I get you videos for that as well. So I'll end this video on the note that I end all my vlogs. Beyond the fact that I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday, thank you for your continued support. If you like what you saw here, great. If you didn't, feel free to tell me why you didn't like it. I'm open to feedback always. Honest feedback is always appreciated. And please leave me questions so I can include them in my future post. And beyond that, have a great day.